So we're going to make it very quick and straight to the point. Simon Gosling, CEO, Energynet, the head of the organization putting together Power in Africa, Nigeria, jetted into the country overnight and is live to us now, still a little bit bleary-eyed from his overnight trip. Simon, it's good to see you again.
Great to see you, Bosun.
Okay, it's good. After that conversation, interesting one on Nigeria's power sector, we had your organization put together in Dubai in June. And that session, very, very impactful, bringing everybody together. And I remembered the entire hall was filled to capacity because that's Nigeria. That's the most populated session for that 3-day event in Dubai. I'm correct, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So Nigeria is always in conversation. So this time around, next week, Monday, Tuesday, we're talking. This is coming home to Nigeria. I remember the June Africa Energy Forum. That session had to do with what should be the direction for power under the new Buhari's administration. Talk to us about this. Why is this? What's the strategic aim of this meeting?
Well, I think the importance of this meeting is that it's bringing the energy community together. I mean, what we did in Dubai is we bring the global investors to meet the proactive investors from all countries across Africa. We have over 30 countries represented, and it's a global platform. But what the countries like Nigeria do at that meeting is they then engage with investors to bring them in to these local, much more focus group meetings. These meetings are for 150 top-level investors. So we have the heads of infrastructure from the World Bank coming in, the IFC, MCC from America, the Chinese investors. And what they're coming here to do next week is to really look at, okay, we're not coming here to tell you how to do your business. We're coming here to collaborate on where this sector can go and to really show our support that we are still here behind the president and ready and able to do what is required to keep maintaining that momentum in Nigeria's power sector.
Well, this is not the first time this conference is taking place in Nigeria, so you're not new to this environment, as it were. So put together, where do you think we are right now? What do you think the new administration, how do you think the new administration should proceed based on the conversations about Nigeria that has been held globally at the Africa Energy Forum, not just last year, but the last couple of years, and now we're under a new administration. What has been the findings and what do you think should be done?
Absolutely. I think infrastructure is key. I mean, right across Africa, you're looking at major infrastructure challenges. Transmission infrastructure, gas pipeline infrastructure, these tools that are going to enable the generation businesses to come in and really start building generation projects en masse. I mean, in Nigeria, you've got high levels of renewable energy projects which are coming online. You've got huge amounts of gas potential to meet the needs of the 190 million Nigerians. Let's not forget, Nigeria is a massive economy that is underpinned by the agricultural sector, the major industries, steel manufacturing, cement manufacturing. And these industries are only going to be stronger if they have more secure access to electricity. And that includes building roads, the whole energy infrastructure. So for us, if we were going to say, what are the next steps, what are the stages, really focusing on the infrastructure, the gas pricing, the regulatory framework, the kind of the nuts and bolts that are going to enable the investors to come in and start building these critical projects.
A few weeks ago, President Buhari signed on the Azura IPP project. I'm sure you heard about that news. That guarantee, the risk guarantee that Azura, that greenfield energy project, has been waiting on for a couple of years, so that the Jonathan's administration, President Buhari signed off on that. The World Bank can come in, other investors can come in, and this is a multi-million-dollar project. Are you encouraged by this kind of fiscal authorities' a role in getting Nigeria's power sector up and running? Do you think this will be part of the discussion? Because I remembered in June in Dubai, this was a major concern for those in the audience, asking questions for those of us who are on the panel. What will Nigeria's project, Azura project, has been holding on for a long time? This doesn't encourage international investors who want to bring more or further money in, because the Nigerian government under President Abele Jonathan wasn't moving on that project. Do you see what President Buhari has done is a fillip to what will be discussed Monday, Tuesday next week?
Yeah, it's a really interesting point. I mean, if you look at the Azura project, the team behind that have been working on that project for years. If you're developing a power project, this is a long-term project. You know, before you even start making any money, you're talking about, you know, many, many years of development and time and energy, a lot of manpower, a lot of capital expenditure. So it's a huge project. So it's massively exciting that project in particular is moving forward, because of, you know, the people who are behind that project really are going to determine whether Nigeria's electricity sector is investable. So this was a critical project, a real message for the world that Nigeria is still moving forward. I mean, there are lots of other projects which are going on. You look at geometric power and a lot of the other projects which are happening here. Some of the larger energy companies are building large-scale power projects. There's a lot of captive power projects. I think one of the things which will be exciting is looking at what the government's going to do around large industries feeding electricity into the grid as part of their commitment to the economy and to the communities. Captive power is great and it builds electricities, but what is going to be the impact on the communities around those projects? So that's particularly exciting. But there's no doubt the Azura project is a fantastic project to move forward.
You talk to investors from around the world on a daily basis who are interested in many African countries. What's their conversation about when it comes to Nigeria's energy sector, or power sector to be more specific, that you think will be part of the discussion for this conference?
The conversation is always around the ease of doing business in Nigeria. The foundations of doing business, the ease of doing business, the projects, the opportunities are so vast here that large-scale investors are, you know, it is the main focus. Just the sheer scale of the economy, the speed at which the economy is moving, the dynamicism of the economy, the opportunities here outweigh opportunities anywhere else in Africa. That's for sure. But that means that it's incredibly difficult to get things done. Just working out the regulatory frameworks, the pricing frameworks, these are hugely complicated long-term challenges which are being worked out. So it's all about the ease of doing business. Is going into Nigeria a viable proposition? Do you have the capital expenditure to last the course and actually get your project off the ground? You know, these are large projects, and you know, you've got to look at some other countries, Tanzania, Kenya, South Africa, where perhaps entering those countries, maybe the returns and the opportunities are not quite so great, but maybe the ease of getting into doing business in those countries are just slightly easier. So that definitely is part of the conversation which we'll be focusing on here.
All right, thank you, Simon. Let's allow you to get back to your hotel and catch some hours of sleep. I'm sure you're hitting the ground running ahead of next week. Thank you. I'll see you on Monday. Simon, we'll have that conversation. We'll be part of that conference. Very insightful one about Nigeria's power sector. Simon Gosling, CEO at Energynet, talking to us there live from our Abuja studios. That's about all for today on the program. News comes first here, as usual, on Nigeria's news leader, Channels Television. Get us on all the apps around the world to watch this program all over again if you're interested. And if you want to be part of the conversation, follow us on Twitter, the social media. You know all the Twitter handles. I'll leave you for that. I'll be back in the next 24 hours trying to improve my look and my voice. Got some medications here. I'll see you then.